This is a DGHradio.com news and information 8 p.m. Hurricane Melissa update. We're coming on the air with a special report to break down what's happening with this incredibly dangerous storm and what it means for everyone in its path. And look, this is an incredibly serious situation. We're especially concerned for those in Jamaica who are right in the direct path, but also for surrounding areas like eastern Cuba and even the U.S. Virgin Islands, who are definitely going to feel the effects of this massive storm. Let's get right to the most urgent information. A hurricane warning is now officially in effect for the entire island of Jamaica. And let's be crystal clear about what a warning means. This isn't a maybe or a possibility. It means hurricane conditions are expected. And if you haven't finished your preparations to protect life and property, you need to do it right now. Okay, so what are we looking at this very moment? Let's break down the latest data on the strengthening storm as of 8 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. This is the science that's driving all these warnings. We've got the latest data in from the Hurricane Hunter aircraft, and it confirms Melissa's maximum sustained winds are now right around 100 miles per hour, and you can expect even higher gusts. This storm is getting stronger. Now, look at this number, 971 millibars. This is the storm's central pressure, and it's a key indicator of its power. With hurricanes, the lower this number gets, the stronger and more organized the storm is. And this tells us Melissa's intensifying fast and really getting its act together. And you can see just how close it's getting. The center of the storm is only about 130 miles from Kingston. But here's what's deeply concerning. It's moving at just 3 miles per hour. A slow-moving hurricane is a nightmare scenario because it means that devastating wind and rain just sits over the same area for a much, much longer time. So, with a storm this powerful getting this close, who is officially on alert? Let's run through the specific watches and warnings that are up right now across the Caribbean so everyone understands the risks. As we said, Jamaica is under that full hurricane warning. Now, looking a bit further out, a hurricane watch is in effect for parts of eastern Cuba. We're talking about the provinces of Granma, Santiago de Cuba, Guantanamo, and Holguin. And there's a tropical storm warning for southwestern Haiti. It is so important to know the difference. A watch means conditions are possible. A warning, like the one for Jamaica, means dangerous conditions are imminent. So let's really focus in on Jamaica, because you are facing the most direct and severe threat. If you are there, under that hurricane warning, you have to understand this is not a quick-moving storm. You are looking at a multi-day period of extremely dangerous weather, and it's starting tonight. Melissa is forecast to blow up into a major hurricane right as it gets to the island. This brings a triple threat. We're talking a life-threatening storm surge of 9 to 13 feet along that south coast, catastrophic rainfall that's going to lead to flash flooding and landslides, and a coastline that's just going to be battered by huge, destructive waves. It's a dangerous combination. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about St. Thomas and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Now, you aren't in the direct path, but a storm of this size is going to create hazards far, far away from its center. The core of Melissa is expected to stay well to your west. So what that means is you're not forecast to get those direct hurricane force winds. But, and this is a big but, that does not mean you're in the clear. A storm this huge and powerful generates hazards well outside the cone. You can expect some really hazardous surf and powerful swells to build during the first half of the week. These conditions create dangerous rip currents, which are a major threat to anybody near the water. So if you're a boater or you work on the water, you need to be paying very close attention to your local statements. All right, let's move to the official forecast track. Let's look at the map and see just how this storm is expected to intensify and where it's predicted to go over the next 5 days. This forecast timeline is, frankly, alarming. It shows a period of what we call rapid intensification. In just 24 hours, Melissa is expected to explode into a major hurricane. And then, just 48 hours from now, it's forecast to reach a peak intensity of 160 miles per hour. That is a catastrophic Category 5 storm on the doorstep of Jamaica. And to put a finer point on it for Jamaica, the closest approach to the capital, Kingston, is forecast for early Tuesday morning. But please do not fixate on the center of the storm. Dangerous conditions will arrive long before the center does. Tropical storm force winds extend out 160 miles, so the impacts are going to start much, much sooner. I really want to hammer this home. To be absolutely crystal clear, let's isolate the two most life-threatening impacts that we're expecting with this storm, particularly for everyone in Jamaica. First is the water from the sea. A life-threatening storm surge of 9 to 13 feet above normal tide levels is possible. This isn't just a big wave, folks. This is the ocean literally rising up and moving inland as a wall of water. It is simply not survivable if you are caught in it. The second major threat is the water from the sky. Because Melissa's moving so slowly, it's just going to dump incredible amounts of rain. We are talking widespread totals of 15 to 30 inches. And to put that into perspective, some of the higher elevations in the mountains could see close to 40 inches. That is an unbelievable amount of water. And this brings us to the final, critical point, and I'm going to read this directly from the National Hurricane Center. These are their words. Catastrophic flash flooding and numerous landslides are likely. For everyone in the warning areas, your window to prepare is closing fast. Please heed all official advice and complete your preparations immediately. Stay safe.